Hello and welcome to another episode of All Sports Takes, where we are going to be going through our NFL Week 3 predictions. John, last week you went 15-1 for your Week 2 predictions, and I went 14-2. Talk us about how good of a week we had last week.
I think it was like the second most points scored ever
And
for
yet
like
my
a 10.
fantasy team still did shit.
Yeah, I am 0-2 in both leagues, but it's all good. You know, I'm gonna come back. But yeah, it was a great week of football. Loved enjoying it, and I think we have a lot better matchups this week than we did last week. So I think another good week of football is coming this week.
If you guys didn't catch our Thursday night football predictions last week, or for Thursday, I chose the Bills, and John chose the Bills, and that video is going to be linked into the description. And we hope that you guys watch that one. It was a pretty interesting one. I talked about the Bengals. We talked about how, more about a more in-depth recap of week 2. So go ahead and check that out. But without further ado, let's get into our week 3 predictions. John, our first matchup is going to be the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Minnesota Vikings. Carson Wentz is going off against Jake Browning. Who do you got in this one, John?
All right. It's a hard game for me. I think Carson Wentz is going to have a great game. I think Jake Browning can have a great game. I think the Vikings are probably better off of Carson Wentz. J.J. McCarthy is not a good quarterback. I've been preaching this all year. Um, it's really a toss-up game for me. I do want to pick the Bengals just like because I think they have an overall better team, and Aaron Jones is also out for the Vikings. So I'm going to be sticking with the Bengals here.
Oh,
They've been getting lucky. I think the luck continues. Jake Browning, he gets a couple of days of practice under his belt, and he takes the dub here, 27-26, one score game, 1 point game.
yeah, so my focal point when talking about this game is just talking about how obviously there's a hole within this Bengals organization, but how well this Bengals defense has been developing these past couple of weeks. Jordan Battle, Dax Hill, both young safeties who have been really meshing into their role. Jordan Battle looks like he's going to be a Pro Bowler. He's been playing really well. Um, this Bengals defense with Trey Hendrickson, they're a little bit scary. I mean, they're not. They're not top 10. I'm not making that. But it's not what these teams are used to when facing the Bengals. They're adding a little bit of pressure. They're forcing turnovers. And I think with a backup QB who's never played with his team before, doesn't know the system, I think that the Bengals are just going to have the edge on defense. And Jake Browning, who's familiar with his Bengals system, he obviously got snaps last week. I think this is going to be a blowout win for the Bengals. I think they're going to win 31-17. I honestly kind of like the offense a little bit more at the beginning of the season with Jake Browning. Um, and I especially like it given how kind of lackluster we saw the Vikings defense, especially against the Falcons, because the Falcons they can't convert in the red zone, but they were driving to the 20 every single drive. But let's get straight into the next one. We have the Texans versus the Jaguars. Texans are 0-2. Jaguars are 1-1. What I'm looking for in this game is I'm looking for who has the better offense because I think both these defenses are pretty solid. They both have pretty good star power. They've looked pretty good these past 2 weeks. And for me, the better offense is just the Jags. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is looking pretty good. Um, and I like the Jags in an upset here, winning 24-20. I think Brian Thomas has a bounce back week where he stops to stop dropping balls. And furthermore, they have this new rookie running back for the Jags who has just been doing amazing. He blew up against the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be taking the Texans here.
Yeah.
I think they get back on track with the win. The Texans defense has been looking really good, and I just don't see Trevor Lawrence having a good game.
The
Travis
offense looked
Etienne,
terrible though for the Texans.
yeah, but the Jags offense looked good against the Bengals defense, but they didn't look good week one. So I
Yes, they
think the
did. They
Texans,
scored 30 points on the Panthers, did they not?
that was like 20, but
Yeah.
either way, I'm still picking the Texans just because I think they're a better defense, and I think their offense is going to get it together, and I just think they're overall better team than the Jags. So I'm picking them 17-14, close game.
I think logically when looking at this game, you got to be thinking to yourself, like, there's no way the Texans fall to 0-3. but I just think that the Jags always match up well against the Texans. I don't know. I just have a feeling about this one. Anyway, let's get on to the next one. I correctly predicted the Colts to beat the Titans. I mean, the Colts to beat the Broncos. They've looked pretty good with Daniel Jones, and they're gonna, I think, continue to do pretty well. And I think that they're gonna beat the Titans 30-20.
Yeah, I don't know. I was a little suspicious here just because I think the Colts, they remind me of a lot of the Saints last year, starting off 2-0 with a super hot start. So, I mean, I'm just a little skeptical picking them. And I think the Titans haven't played really bad. Um, they've had some bright spots. Cam Moore hasn't looked the greatest, but I feel like this is a little bit of a trap game for the Colts. But I'm still going to take the safe pick here and pick the Colts 22-18.
I kind of agree. Cam Moore did look pretty good last week. Next, the Raiders versus the Commanders. This is an interesting game because Jaden Daniels is day to day with a knee sprain, I believe.
Yeah,
And
right, Nate's
for
right.
me, this prediction is pretty simple. If Jaden Daniels plays, the Commanders will win 23-20. If he doesn't play, the Raiders are going to win 23-20.
So who are you picking? You got to pick someone.
Yeah. So for me, I think that I'm at the time being going to be picking the Commanders because I'm going to bet on Jaden Daniels, but I would definitely change it to the Raiders. I think Jaden Daniels will play, but I think that the Raiders are being underlooked here.
Okay, so you're picking the Commanders.
What I just said, yes.
Just making sure you sound like you were picking the Raiders there for a second. Just had to make sure. But
I like the
anyway,
Raiders.
this game is pretty simple for me. I'm definitely going to be picking the Commanders here. I don't think the Raiders are that good. Geno Smith showed last week that he struggles throwing the ball deep. He can only throw short passes. So I think the Commanders will see that, prevent the deep ball, force them to go short, and overall take control of the game and win the game 26-20 with or without Jane Daniels. The backup is Marcus Mariota, who has proven that he is a good quarterback and can manage a game. So I'm not too worried about that.
Another injury that I want to point out is that they're missing Austin Eckler as well.
Yeah, that is true.
Next, we have the Rams versus the Eagles. Two 2-0 teams. This is going to looking to be a great matchup. Rams have been looking pretty well, haven't they, John?
Rams have been looking good, no doubt. Puka Nacua is playing good. Matthew Stafford's playing good. No sign of that injury acting up. For me, I always pick the Super Bowl champs till they lose. Obviously, the Eagles played the Chiefs last week, and Jalen Hurts did not look the greatest, but a win's a win against the Chiefs. They're going to have a solid defense. They're always going to be in the game. So I'm going to stay with the Eagles here, 23-17. But watch out for a Rams upset for sure.
Yeah, I have the Eagles winning this one, 30-23. I just think that they're a better team overall. I don't like betting against this team. They've just been really solid. Next, we have the Falcons versus the Panthers. I have the Falcons winning this one, 34-25. I just think that they're a better team than the Panthers, and I do like the Panthers, and they almost came back against the Cardinals, but no.
Yeah, Panthers have definitely showed some bright spots. Bryce Young has looked good at times, but there's just very inconsistent. So I'm gonna take the Falcons here. Bijan Robinson, big game from him. Watch out for a Drake London breakout game too. Falcons 30, Panthers 26.
Next, we have the Steelers versus the Patriots, and John, I'm going to let you go ahead and start this game.
Um, Obviously I'm picking the Patriots. I'm a Patriots fan. I don't think the Steelers they didn't look good last week against the Seahawks, which I predicted the Seahawks winning just because I know how the Steelers play. Good win, bad win. So I'm gonna take the Patriots here. I think we looked really good against the Dolphins. Drake May looks like he's improving each week. We got the running game going. Defense was still a little bit iffy. Christian Gonzalez is back at practice this week. Don't know if he's gonna play. That doesn't matter. Patriots are still gonna win this game. Closer game, 24-20 though.
Steelers defense looked atrocious last week. That was obviously one of the games I picked wrong. And Aaron Rodgers, he did not look amazing. I mean, it felt like he had to do it all, and we obviously know Aaron Rodgers can't do it all. I think that the Patriots, they looked pretty good. They've looked pretty good both weeks. And I like them winning because this game is in New England. And I like the Patriots winning this one 24-16. Next, we have the Packers versus the Browns. I have the Packers winning this one 27-17. Is there needed to be much said? I mean, the Packers are one of the most dominating teams in the NFL right now. I think that they're just going to get this win.
Yeah, Packers 27-17 for me. I will say Browns offense hasn't looked the worst though. And the defense is
Their
pretty
defense
good.
is
So
really solid, but
I think they
They're
could
not going
definitely
to be able
upset
to beat elite teams.
yeah, I'm just saying, but I think they could upset a team here or two, and they're definitely going to pick up some wins this season.
Yeah. Next, you have the Jets versus the Buccaneers. I have the Buccaneers winning this one 30-20. Justin Fields was ruled out today in this matchup. I just don't know how the Jets are going to score points, and I think Baker Mayfield's just so good, man. Baker Mayfield, what a QB. What a guy. Love that guy.
Justin Fields or not, they're still losing this game. I got the Bucks 2020, one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. Baker Mayfield looks good. Emeka Ibuka looks like a new star receiver for the Bucks, and their defense is still as good as it was last year. So pretty simple pick here.
We're set up for a really interesting game here, John, with the Broncos versus the Chargers. Chargers have been looking damn good, haven't they?
Chargers has
Broncos,
definitely looked better.
Broncos have looked solid. They've looked like the Broncos to me. I
Yeah, they
think
should be
they
too.
played better against the Colts last week than they did against the Titans.
Yeah, and they should have won that game despite a leverage call.
Yeah.
But, that's just
I
how it
was looking
goes.
at it, it kind of was leverage, to be fair.
Yeah, it is true. You just made a mistake, but they shouldn't have lost that game. They
Yeah.
should have won. But
So, John, in this game, I'm going to be picking the Chargers to win this one. I'm a big Broncos fan. We know that. We know we like Bo Nix. Chargers just have been unstoppable, and they have two really good wins on their resume against division opponents. And for me, they're at home. I just think, I just think that they're a better team overall than the Broncos, and I think the Broncos have a lot of questions that haven't been answered for me, especially on this offensive side. And this Chargers defense has been looking pretty damn good, bro. Stopping the Raiders to 9 points, stopping the Chiefs to what, 17 points? I think that this Chargers defense has been pretty elite so far, and so I have them winning this game.
yeah, the Chargers have looked good on both sides of the ball. They played a solid defense in the Chiefs. The Chiefs defense is always solid. Probably not as good as the Broncos, but still a really good defense and still put up some pretty good numbers against them. Broncos have looked better than they did week one against the Colts. This is a hard game for me to predict. I can see the Broncos winning this game. It is at home for the Chargers, and overall, I think the Chargers have just looked better. I'm going to take the Chargers here, close game 25-24.
Next, we have the Saints versus the Seahawks. I think that the Saints could come in and get a trap game here against the Seahawks. I could see them winning this. I think it could be close. Spencer Rattler hasn't looked that bad. With that being said, I think you just would be delusional to knock out the Seahawks here. They're just the better team, and I have them winning 30-17.
Yeah, Saints haven't looked bad. They've been in both the first games they've been in. But just gotta pick the Seahawks here. I'm not trying to pick an upset pick this early, especially it being the Saints.
The next four games kind of seem like toss-ups, don't they, John?
Maybe not the next one, but the three after, 2 out of 2, I'd say 2 out of 2.
Okay.
Two toss-ups, two not toss-ups.
Cowboys versus the Bears. I have the Cowboys winning this one, but I could honestly see the Bears winning. Cowboys kind of looked bad. If you're making it that close with the Giants, I don't know. Are the Cowboys good? Are the Giants good, or are they both bad? I really can't tell. It's been so early, but I have the Cowboys just squeaking this out against the Bears 24-20.
Yeah, I can't tell with the Cowboys. I mean, they looked really good against the Eagles, and then they were in it with the Giants, and I don't know if the Giants. I don't think the Giants are good, so I'm getting mixed signals here from the Cowboys, but I just think they're overall better team than the Bears. Bears haven't looked the greatest. Their offense has looked pretty good, but their defense not so much. I think the Cowboys will be able to put up a lot of points against the Bears. I'm gonna go 28-24 Cowboys.
Next, we have the Cardinals versus the 49ers in a really interesting game because the 49ers offense is straight backups and the Cardinals are 2-0. They've looked pretty dang good. This is a statement game for the Cardinals. That's what it feels like to me. This feels like a statement. We need to be taken serious in the NFL this year. We are going to make the playoffs. I have the Cardinals winning 21-20. I get there was all this Mac Jones glaze and stuff like that. Guys, let's not remember how bad Mac Jones is and how bad he played for the Patriots. They played the Saints last week. The Saints suck. They're going to be playing a better Cardinals defense for sure. Um, and I just think that the Cardinals are going to really be limiting them. And I don't think Cardinals are necessarily a good team, but I think that they're better than the 49ers are right now in the status quo. And so I'm going to be picking the Cardinals to win this one, 21-20.
The 49ers have had a couple of injuries, main injury, Brock Purdy. Cards have
Yeah.
looked good too, and though. Um, they haven't played the greatest teams for the first 2 weeks. Saints and Panthers. Panthers almost came back on them. They were in it with the Saints. So, I mean, they got the 2 wins, but they haven't been the prettiest wins. This is a hard game for
It's
me.
the toughest one to predict, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is a hard game for me. I probably would pick the 49ers if they had Brock Purdy, but I know Mac Jones used to be on the Patriots. I love Mac Jones, but there's a reason he's not on the Patriots anymore. So I'm gonna pick the Cards here 24-21.
Sunday Night Football, Giants versus the Chiefs in MetLife. And this just feels like a trap game, doesn't it, John?
I mean, the Chiefs are 0-2, so I mean it's not like a crazy trap game, but
The
I
Chiefs
guess it
are
is a
good.
trap game.
The Giants need this win. The Chiefs need this win. And at the end of the day, I just think this is going to be one of those games where it's going to be a Sunday Night Football game where you turn it off at halftime. Not because it's not a close game, just because you don't really want to see Taylor Swift on the screen 5 times when the game's 10-7 at half. So I got the Chiefs winning this one barely, 24-23. It's gonna be a boring game. I don't know. It just seems one of those games.
I don't know. I think this is going to be actually quite an exciting game. I remember the last time the Chiefs and Giants matched up. It's one of the core memories I was watching it or listening to with my dad on the way home back to Moab, Utah, when the Giants actually upset the Chiefs. I don't remember any of the team's records, but the Giants had upset the Chiefs. So I'm not picking the Giants, obviously, but I was just a core memory. Anyway, Chiefs are going to win 33-25. It's going to be a higher scoring game. I think Russell Wilson didn't look bad against the Cowboys. I know Chiefs defense is better, but I think he'll still put up some points. And I think the Chiefs get their first win this season. Patrick Mahomes has a good game. And yeah,
Next, Lions Ravens. What a Monday Night Football game that we're in store for. Man, I feel bad for the Lions. They have a tough schedule, don't they, John?
they do have a tough schedule.
Anyway, I have the Ravens winning this one 30-20. I think they're just a better team than the Lions. I know that the Lions looked really good last week, but it's the Ravens we're talking about, man. They just look so dominant, don't they? As a Bengals fan, it hurts me to say this, but they're gonna win 30-20.
Yeah, Ravens have looked really good, but we did see their incapability to pull out a win against the Bills up a lot of points. Lions struggled week one against the Packers, but they showed out against the Bears last week. Both of these teams have great offenses. I'm still not sure on their defense, but I'm gonna take the Ravens here, 30-29, an instant classic of a game here.
The Lions are
It's
gonna
it's
drive down the field and go for two and not get it.
that could happen. I could see the game ending 29-28. Mark Andrews dropped 2 point conversion, repeating of history just against a different team. But I'm gonna take the Ravens 30-29.
So, John, we have one differential game going this week. Texans Jags.
I think I'm taking the differential. I really do. I think the Texans easily get their first win this week.
And I'm 2 games ahead of you right now, correct?
Yeah.
So I will stay in the league going into week 4. It's tight. We are predicting well. We are locked in. The prize is worth it. We're both locked in, taking some time considering these picks.
Don't forget how good the Texans played last week against the Bucks. They almost won. They're counting out the Texans too early.
Let's go, Jags. Duval.
All right.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it. And for those who've stayed with us and watched every single one of our episodes, we hope you've appreciated our consistency. We're just getting started. Um, Anything else you want to add, John?
We on the come up.
On the come up, baby. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Thank you. Deuces.